Okay, this video is for any players that have hit level 40 or higher that have gotten the targets list, and I'm going to show you basically how to play the game from level 40 up. Basically, you're going to be at the marketplace when you hit level 40. Might be at Guildhall quarters when you get the targets list, but I usually give it to anybody that hits level 40. You'll have to move back to City Gates because our marketplace target has deleted their account. They didn't play for years, but they must have got on and deleted theirs. So you have to go to the City Gates targets, which right now is Scorpio and Moet et Chandon. I can't attack Moet right now because I've already attacked him. But it's 8 a.m. and you want to be in the area that you're at 8 a.m. You don't want to send your thug out at 9 a.m. You always want your thug sent off at 8 a.m. so he's coming back at the very end of the day. That way, when you're in your leveling area, you'll have protection when you're putting your skill points in. So I'm going to send my thug out to spy on... Let me make sure I'm spying. Okay. I'm going to send him to spy on Scorpio 75. And while he's out, I'm going to move back up to... I'm at City Gates right now. I'm going to move up to Guildhall quarters. That's my leveling area. Now, it's 50,000 gold to move up there. If you don't have that much gold to move around, I'll show you how you can work around that. But I'm going to move back up to Guildhall quarters. And I usually play with game speed all the way up, but I slowed it all the way down. That way I have more time to show you things. Of course, you got customers coming in wanting things. But I usually pick one worker to focus on the most. And right now, I'm focusing on the blacksmith. The carpenter is the most important because the carpenter's list is always the longest. But I'm focusing on my blacksmith right now because I don't have any rings to sell. So I'm just selling regular items to level up. And my blacksmith needs to build a lot. So instead of building one at a time, I usually start off with 2. That way when I come back to the bottom of the list, I at least have 1 of every item while I'm building stock. So I'm, about halfway up through my list. I'm on the Dirk right now. I'm going to go ahead and build the second one of those. Now while my blacksmith is working, I'll move over to my carpenter, which is really the most important. But if you see his list, he's got almost 5 of everything right now. And I'll just go to the next item that has lower than 5 and craft one of those. Now these 3 workers are busy. I'll go up to my sorceress and get her building something, and I'm working on 2 of everything of hers. I'm on the last one right now, Vial of Mana. Alright, now while the workers are busy, I'll start selling items. I'm not worried about haggling because it's still a profit. It says negative 22, but if it's that low of a difference, you really don't want to take a chance at haggling at this level anyway because, like I said, you're still making profit. So, sell some items. Now, if they want an item you don't have, if you look over here above their name of their type of character, it has a list of icons of what they like. They like swords, musical instrument, light armor, light helmet, etc. Go to suggest item, and there are 2 main ones: is swords and musical instruments. With a bard or anything, or any character that likes musical instruments, I usually just try to suggest a musical instrument. They seem to like them more than the weapons. She didn't want that, but oh well. And down here it'll show you the percentage of how close you were to suggesting that item. That was 30%, so that's pretty low. So that falls under Silver Tongue, haggling, and suggesting. But I'm going to go up here and I'm going to speed the game up to to max. And that's usually how I play. I play on max speed. And continue making my items. And the reason I speeded it up, because I want to show you what the thug is up to. Like I said, if there's a small difference between, don't even haggle, just sell. It's still profit, and it's just a lot quicker. Adventurers, when they come in and they want an item you don't have, try to find the most expensive item that you have that they like. So it'd be a sword, a musical instrument, or light armor. I got a leather coat right here, a rich cloak. She didn't have a smiley face. Usually they have a smiley face above their head, and that when they have that, that lets you know that more than likely they're going to be successful in their adventure or quest, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to stop building with my workers. I usually stop building items at 7 p.m. I don't want to be busy clicking on my workers right at the end of the day. Alright, so my thug's back. And here's the report for Scorpio. If you notice, it shows the workers, but there's no thug, which means that there's no defense on this character, on this player. And right down at the inventory, it shows you what they have. The one ring and the charming pendants is what you're looking for on any target. You want the rings and you want the pendants. The gold's not very important. I mean, it's a plus when the thug comes back with gold, but what you really want is you want the rings and you want the charming pendants. Now this is a good target for gold, rings, and pendants. Like I said, there's no thug on this target, so it's 8 p.m., it's the end of the day. So, like I said, we have defense while we're putting our skill points in and all that. Of course, I didn't level up, I just sold a couple of items. Still a pretty low level. We're in a pretty active guild challenge right now. On your materials, just go ahead and click fill all. Don't even pay attention to nothing else. Just click fill all and finish. Everything you sell is a profit. So, okay, here we are at the beginning of the day. I'm going to slow the game speed down so I don't mess up. So we're at the guild hall quarters. I just spied on Scorpio, which is at City Gates. So I'm going to move back to City Gates, and I'm going to burglarize Scorpio. Now, if you have sneakers, it's good to use them, but you probably won't get no sneakers until you're level 150 or higher. We're going to send him out. Now I'm going to kind of pause it for a second, show you something. Right over here, camera's not picking it up. Right there, the far left corner, there'll be a green arrow, and it says you have spied on Scorpio 75 and gained a secret operation bonus. You always want that when you go to steal from a target. You always want that. You can use this bonus on any target, but if it doesn't have stars above it, and it's just a regular green bar, just use it for that particular target. In one of my other videos, I'll show you some higher level targets that will give you a better boost that you can use on every target on this list. Unfortunately, I don't have enough days to wait for the thug to come back, but the thug is sent off, and he's off to steal. He'll be back in about 5 or 6 game days. So I'll go back up to guild hall quarters, which is my leveling area, and you always want to go back to your leveling area. Until you're level 200, you always want to do this. When you reach the palace and you have rings and you have pendants, you learn how to countryside hop, which is what all top players do. And once you start doing that, it opens up a whole new level to the game. You're no longer worried about making items. The only reason you'll make items is for co-op points on your workers improvement lists. Like I said, the carpenter is always the most important because there's always improvements on the carpenter's list, always. If there's not any improvements on the improvement list, it means we're doing a good job. No need to worry. If you have 5,000 points that are just sitting there, it's a good thing. Trust me, it's a good thing. But that's basically the tutorial for whenever you hit level 40 and you get the targets list. Of course, you won't be able to go after the targets at the palace or at the Royal Bazaar. And like I said, the Marketplace Target has deleted their account, so I'm going to have to remove that from the list. But I'm working on a newer list right now. It probably won't be sent out to the guild members for a couple of weeks, but for some members, they might get it earlier than others. It's kind of a trust thing, but that's basically what you do when you hit level 40 is you want to jump back to city gates and attack those targets and steal from them, but always move back to your leveling area and continue making items. And when you're making items, you know, you have a whole list of items here. You want to start from the bottom with the ones that only take 1 hour to make and work your way up and try to keep them even, because that way if somebody comes in and wants one particular thing, you might have something else that they like. And that pretty much concludes it. If you have any questions, contact me on the game. And that's basically it. I will make a second video about this particular tutorial later on. But that is about it. Basically, you just wait for your thug to come back and hope he brings you back rings. At this low of a level would be really good for that low of a level to have rings. But hey, if you get gold, it's a plus. If you get charming pendants, it's a plus. Anything helps. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Thanks for watching.